Hey, it's John Benson from 3xmarketingformula.com, your free how-to marketing resource on the web. And I'm going to tell you today why email swipe copy sucks. What is swipe copy? Well, that's the copy that affiliates will give you, partners that have a product will give you to say, hey, send this out to your list and you'll make a whole lot of money. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes you do. But the problem is that Google's getting savvy to this. They're realizing that in a fitness industry, for example, in the example that you see on your screen, which these are obviously fictitious affiliates, but this is kind of what I will see in a given day, only there's like 13 of them. You're going to get guys and girls that are sending these emails out in blasts like they're doing a promotion. Everyone knows what a promotion is if you've been doing this long enough. And this is what the emails look like. You'll get the same email with the same subject line over and over again. And I'm going to go through why that's a bad idea, why the emails on here that don't have the same subject line is still a bad idea, and how you can change it, how you can get around it without creating everything from scratch. I usually create everything from scratch, but I know how to write email copy. I know how to write good subject lines. That's what I teach people. If you haven't gone to 3xmarketingformula.com, go there now. Check it out. There's a lot of videos, free videos up there. There's going to be more and more videos on the subject of how to write compelling subject line and email copy. So do check that out. But for now, I'm going to dive into what you should do when you're presented with swipe copy and why you shouldn't use it. First of all, why you shouldn't use it. Like I said, Google is really coming down heavy. And what they're doing is they're partnering with a lot of internet service providers or ISPs. And they're saying, hey, if we have an algorithm that's looking around for duplicated emails sent over X period of time. And if you see that, flag these guys as bad senders and don't deliver their email. I mean, that's a very overkill layman's way of explaining it, but that's what's subtly going on. And we're noticing dramatic in some cases, but definitely in other cases, noticeable declines in open rates and delivery rates when people are using a lot of swipe files. So in a given day on a fitness promotion, you'll see something like this. Jimmy Fitness will send out 5 foods for a flat belly. Sally Shape will send out the same damn subject line. So who's going to open this, right? If I'm on both of their lists, this is the only time this would really apply is if your client is on both lists. But think about it. You do enough cross promotions, eventually your clients will go to other lists. It's called list scraping, and it's a good thing if the affiliate is really good at promoting your stuff and giving you commissions. Is a really bad thing pretty much in the big picture, because you're going to get a lot of cross promotions and a lot of stuff like this. So your client will end up seeing this. Now, they may open, if they really like you and you're Jimmy Fitness, they may open this email. But when they see this, they're automatically going to know, wait, this is some sort of promotion. This is some sort of, they're going to know something's up. No one's going to send the same email with the same subject line, especially if they see 2 more. They're going to know something's up. What Fit System Company did is they put forward in front of it, which is a good trick. It's one that I taught several years ago in Thrick's conversion formula. With their whole email course, and forward at that time was not on the banned list. It's kind of in the gray area now. So FWD : space and then whatever the subject line is. If you do not change the email inside the email, that's going to be definitely over the line. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that if you use this trick, that you actually send it and make it look like a forwarded email. So the way to do that is you go into the email, you say, hey, I saw this. I wanted to make sure that you saw it. Talk soon, name. And then the rest of the email has like a 1-character indent to where it looks like it's forwarded. Yes, it's certainly not the most click-friendly thing, but people read forwarded emails. And it can actually increase conversions when you add that indentation. Try it. It's a pretty cool trick. If you do that a lot, you're going to get nailed, right? But this is cool things to break it up once a month and do something that get you a higher click-through rate than your competitors. However, Fit Systems Company, in my example, didn't do that. They used the same exact copy as these other 2 guys got. So it's not going to matter. The subject line is going to be looked at first by Google. The content is also looked at. It's kind of scary. I know it's like George Orwellian kind of thing. But that's going on. So you got to be aware of it. What are you going to do? So Jim Jerkoff, this guy, the reason I called him a jerk-off is because he thinks he's freaking clever by going, foods you must eat to be leaner. Well, that is great if he changed the rest of the email, or if he did what I'm about to tell you. But this guy didn't do it in this example. He just kept the same email copy. So he's going to be a step above the rest slightly, but over time, it's the same thing. They're looking for content that's replicated over and over and over again. And when Google teams up with, obviously they're teamed up with Gmail, obviously, but when they team up with other internet service providers, and it's going on really, really big time, more and more internet service providers are going to be scanning for this stuff. And you do not want to be on that blacklist, because that blacklist is going to affect everyone on your list, whether you're a spammer or not. So Here's how you get around it without having to write completely different email. Like I said, I usually do write email that's completely different, but here's a way to get around it. First of all, do what Jim did here and rewrite the subject line. If you're not comfortable with subject lines, take the ideas from the subject line and slightly reword it. Like you can say flat belly tips in parentheses, 5 foods, something to that effect. Or you can say these foods make you leaner. Tips or something. You can just make up anything that's around the same idea. Remember, in a subject line, you want to talk about benefits. You don't want to talk about if you say 5 foods that are really good for you. That's not a really good benefit. People aren't really that into good for you. Now, granted, I'm talking fitness. It could apply to any industry. You want to think in your industry, what do people really, really desire? Most people, they might say they desire health, but they really desire being fit. Most people say they desire money, for example, but a lot of people, they desire wealth, and that's a big difference. And so if your market is, say, like investing. And so you're thinking, okay, my guys and girls, they want to invest their money. Well, that's true. But why do they want to invest their money? What do they desire? What's the desire behind that? It's wealth, it's stability, it's success, it's security. So you want to think about in terms like that with your subject lines, because that's going to appeal to their psychology. There's videos on psychology of marketing on 3xmarketingformula.com. Check them out. They're free. And also, let's look at what you want to do on the inside of this. So you slightly reworded the subject line. What do you do with the content? Well, here's a quick way to get around having to rewrite the whole thing. All you do is rewrite the first paragraph, or even just add a paragraph to it. It's better to rewrite the first paragraph, in my opinion. So here's how you do it to make it even more effective. You make the first paragraph a story, something personal, something that will suck people in. Now, obviously, you need to read through the email and make sure it's somewhat congruent. It's not that difficult to make it congruent. So for an example, let's say this started off with, did you know there are 5 foods that can make your belly flatter? I would say my wife, Andrea, and I were just in the grocery store a few hours ago, and you wouldn't believe what we saw. We saw all these foods labeled get lean foods or healthy foods. Well, they don't. They don't make you lean. But here are 5 foods that and then we'll go into the email copy. You see what I did? I just told a very short story. Now, you can make that story longer if you really want to, but tends to be that if you want the click, you want to go a little shorter emails. Certainly not super short, because that will be flagged as spam immediately. But the storyline sucks people in. Make it personal and try to make it truthful. That's always a good idea. But if you can make it personal, you really made that whole email like I'm really writing to you. And that's the effect you want to come across with. You want your users to think that you are writing literally to them. I can't tell you how many people email me and say, man, I can't believe you took the time to email me this personal email. And I usually tell them, I didn't email you. I emailed it to everyone just so I don't lead them on. But yeah, it's that convincing, and you want to be that convincing. And this is I'm always going to give you tips inside of tips in these videos. So that's why you should watch every freaking video, because they're really good. Okay, there's these hidden jewels inside every one of them. Well, here's one. If you can make your emails, when you start writing your email, if you write an email from scratch, which most of you watching do, write an email as if you're writing to one person. Just picture one person sitting across from your desk, one person, maybe not a friend, but someone that you really want to communicate with, someone that you want to share a message with. Just watch how that changes the tonality of how you write. Like if you think of how you would write to your best friend versus how you would write to your list. You want to be more best friendish than listish, not totally. Of course, you want to draw that. There's a line there that you can cross, but you know what I'm trying to get across. It's very important to get that feeling across. And the other thing you want to do, I'm going to finish up by saying the other thing you want to do to make your email copy as safe as it can be without rewriting it is add a concluding paragraph. You can do that by PS if they haven't got one already. You can do that simply by saying, look, this is something that I really believe in. This is something I know that's going to help you get leaner. If this is about getting leaner, I know this is something that's going to help you increase your wealth and feel more secure for your family. If you're into investing or whatever you're into, you can modify that, but make it appeal to their desires. What do they really desire? And all you need to do is add a 2-line, 3-line paragraph. If that, you can just add 1 sentence if you want. It's enough to make it somewhat unique, and that's what you want to go for. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's a lot more free videos over at 3xmarketingformula.com. Pay it a visit today. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, click that like button and click that favorite button and share this with some friends. Thanks a lot. I'll see you over there.